Today I'm going to be tying a stealthy little PMD pattern. This is going to be a little bit different than the micro PMD pattern that I had already posted. I tied in size 16 and 18, and it's on a 2x long curved nymph hook, and we're using a little glass bead on here, a small size. And makes it a little more stealthier. It's not going to be as flashy as the a gold or copper or black bead, black nickel bead. And this root beer color, if you ever look at a PMD nymph, and I'll show you here, the head of it actually does kind of look like this root beer color, at least the ones that I see most of the time. For the materials, you're going to be using some 6.0 Danville in the color brown. Of course, use any other thread you want, just use brown, kind of small. Cut like a good 6-inch piece or so off of that thread that we're going to be using as the ribbing. For the tail and legs, we're going to be using some yellow dyed pheasant tail, and then some darker, like brown blackish dyed pheasant tail. You can also use a turkey feather too. And then for the two dubbings, I'm using Mercer's dubbing in the color PMD. This is exclusive just for the fly shop. I believe they're the only ones that carry it. If you find it somewhere else, awesome, but I've only found it at the fly shop. You can order online from them. You don't have to be in California to buy from them. And then some Awesome Possum dubbing in the color Golden Stone for the thorax. So let's get started. For the tail, I just add 3 fibers. You can mess with 4 if you would like. Recently, I haven't had any of my tails getting eaten off. Once I start having them kind of rip off, I might tie them on. I don't think it's too important though, so I'm not going to waste more than 3. I'm going to make it kind of short, not super long. I think a lot of people oversize tails on the mayfly nymphs, and I think they're a lot shorter most of the time. On this pattern, I think that length looks good. So it's about half the shank of the hook. Alright, now I'm going to tie in my ribbing material, which is just going to be some of that brown thread that I'm tying with. This is just going to create a little segmentation with the dubbing, and maybe even provide some durability. I'm going to take some of the Mercer dubbing, super small amount. I like a really thin body for this pattern. I think it generally looks a little bit better. I'm going to start off really small, then we'll just add on. Yeah, this is just a nice little thin, straggly little body. That way it can kind of replicate gills on the PMD. Doesn't have to be super smooth. We're just trying to get a general shape and color for this pattern. Alright, we'll take that ribbing thread. This just adds a nice little segmentation without being seen. There's not any flashiness in there, which is nice for the picky fish. This pattern's really good with pickier trout that I've found. I'm going to cut off just the oversized fibers off of this guy or girl. So as you can see, there's some nice little segmentation in there. Very subtle too. It's not over the top, you know, flashy wires or whatever. So this works good on those really picky trout that have been fished to a bunch. Alright, now we're going to add the wing case, which is some dark brown blackish pheasant tail. I got like 10 to 12 fibers here. So I like making the wing case pretty big because it really sticks out when these PMDs are about to merge. And I actually like to go almost halfway down the shank because the wing cases, if you ever look down on a PMD or mostly any mayfly, the wing case is actually almost half the length of the body, behind a head at least. It's not outside the thorax, and I'd say I like using this kind of lighter, this golden stone color, because it makes the PMD pop just a little bit without being over the top. And it even matches the kind of two-tone color that the PMD patterns have. Sometimes they're not all the same color. They have like a couple yellow splotches in there, which is nice. So that's what this replicates. Gonna make it a little chunky to create kind of a taper. Alright, now here's the optional part. I like to add legs. I think it works good on kind of larger patterns like 18 to 16. And once you start tying small, I don't think you really need legs because they can hardly even see it. But it's one of those confidence booster things, right? And if you have confidence in a fly, that's one of the best things you can have. One of the best tools you can have when fishing is confidence. Make sure these legs aren't too over the top. And I'm just using 3 fibers for the legs. Hope my nails are pretty. Shoving them in your face. Alright, there we go. Legs are in. We're going to pull that wing case over. As you can see, it kind of puffs up a little bit, which is nice. One over, one under, one over, and another one under. It's locked in, we'll cut that off. Whip finish. This brown kind of blends in with the head, which is good. Boom. Stick that tail up a little. And that right there is a really, really deadly pattern. Definitely try it out if you got some root beer beads. You could probably use it with those mercury ones, but I think that adds a little bit too much flash, and that's fine if you want a flashy pattern, but this pattern's really stealthy, it's not over the top, and it'll get those really overfished, pressured fish that you always see people catch, but can never catch yourself. I'll show you a top view of this fly too. As you can see, the main features of this fly are these legs and tails, and then that really dark wing case, which is what you mainly want in a fly pattern is that overall shape. And then once we get into the detail, you see the ribbing, and then that nice root beer colored bead, which kind of matches the color of the head that they normally have. Yeah, I hope you like this fly and try and tie some up, and you'll see why I like it so much. Thanks for watching.